Having trouble deciding which type of classes to take each semester? Stay tuned and find out what real students think on campus. Welcome to What's Bruin. I'm Trevin Christensen. Whether you're grinding out full-time semesters or just taking a few classes at a time, navigating life at SLCC can be challenging, and class discussions, tests, and group projects can all be major stressors, leading to many students to ask themselves, should I be taking in-person or online classes at SLCC? To find out what students think, we sent our producer Spencer out on the campus to find out what's brewing.
Welcome to What's Bruin. I'm Spencer Tracy. Today, I'm going to be going out on campus to figure out what types of classes that SLCC students prefer, online or in person. And what's your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine, what's your opinion of online classes versus in-person classes? What would you choose and why?
Online.
Online? Why is that?
Online because the in-person is a struggle for me, so online would be so much better.
I personally would pick in-person just because it's like way easier, that face-to-face communication, not only like communication with your teachers but also with your peers. But not only that, but I feel like when you're struggling on assignments and stuff, it's easier to just go in and get that help. And also when you're losing motivation like that, like I have to be there type of thing, really keeps me like going when it gets hard.
Yeah, it makes it easier to show up when like attendance is mandatory, right? So what's your name?
My name is Tristan Torgerson.
Tristan, oh sorry, can you turn that? And what's your major here at SLCC?
I'm a Parks, Rec, and Tourism major.
Oh wow, that's a cool major. So what drew you to that major?
I want to be a flight attendant, and I realized that was kind of a way that I could get into the hospitality industry.
Then with that, if you had to take a class in any of for your degree and you had to pick between the online version or the in-person version, which one do you pick and why?
I would absolutely do the in-person one because knowing the people you're with is super important, because a lot of the classes involve like teamwork and getting to know people, and it's really hard to do that in an online course.
So actually when I started with online classes, and that was about 2 years ago, and I did awful. I ended up just dropping all of my classes because it killed my motivation entirely. I just came back this year, so I'm technically a freshman, and I'm doing all my classes in person, and it has majorly saved my grades, my motivation, and my mental health, honestly. So in person for sure, but it changes per person.
So what's your name?
Aries.
Aries, and what's your major at SLCC?
My major is psychology.
If you're going to take a class at SLCC and you had to pick between an online class and an in-person class, which do you pick and why?
Definitely in person. I think it's great to have the connections between peers and be able to see the professor in person and ask questions and talk to them.
So let's say you're signing up for classes and you've got an online class and an in-person class. What do you choose and why?
I actually have both of those right now.
Oh, really?
So my online class I have for my bioethics, and both of my in-person ones are here. They're both really great options. I almost always pick in-person over online though, because it's really hard to get that motivation when it's just yourself at home. So that's what I think is the biggest thing.
Stand a little bit back behind that orange piece. Okay. There we go. What's your name?
Evan.
Evan, and what's your major here at SLCC?
I'm a business major here at SLCC.
Do you have the choice between an online and an in-person? Which do you choose and why?
I would go in person.
In person?
I'm definitely a big proponent on in-person classes. I feel like if you're going to college, the social aspect and being in person and talking to your professor is very important. Personally, I'm not really one for online classes, but in-person classes, yeah, definitely. Especially getting to know your professor and really just discussing with them the topics will really get you to know the topics on a deeper level, and then you really figure out if you really enjoy your major or not.
Let's say you're registering for classes and you have this one class you can pick, and it's online or in person. What do you pick and why?
Right now, my abnormal psychology class, honestly, I really like the class. It's a very small one, but I love the professor, and me and all the students there just have a really great time and make jokes, and we have this little case study thing where we like make up characters and stuff. Very fun.
So it's more of an in-person class type?
Yeah. It's a technically hybrid, but a lot of the fun stuff I would say is in person.
So at some point I began to question, do SLCC students even like doing online classes, or is in-person really just the best way to go? So I decided to do some research, and what I found on edweek.org was that in the online setting, students may have more distractions and less oversight, which can reduce their motivation.
It's really hard because I feel like they're both really good. It depends on your schedule, but I prefer in person. I used to be too scared. I was like always online until I did in person once, and it's actually a lot better because you can talk to like your peers or the teacher so easily, and so.
Yeah, that's something I've actually noticed. It seems like a lot of like later SLCC students are all like, no, the in-person classes are the way to go. Like, yeah, early on it seems like the online is easy, right?
I am definitely picking in person. When I'm doing all online, I personally tend to ignore it instead of like engaging with the content. So I'm much more likely to engage if I have it in person.
I get people who try to do online stuff. I don't think it works for math because it's very much a like, you need to be in the classroom, you need to be able to ask those questions. I'm like, how the does that work? Right? What?
In person all the way.
All the way. Really?
All the way.
That's a very strong,
Yeah.
pretty strong reaction.
Yeah. Oh no, maybe it was just because of COVID, but I hate online classes. I'm someone who's very social. I don't like to be in my room all day, and so in-person classes, it's an excuse to get outside, go talk to people, and
I personally choose hybrid.
Hybrid.
So you just meet that one day a week and most of your classes are online. It gives you the chance to like actually talk in person and get to clarify any questions you have. But it gives you a lot of free time in the long run. So if you're like me, I'm working while I'm doing SLCC. So it gives me a lot of free time to still like work and do that stuff. And yeah, I still have time outside of class to do homework and all that.
I always choose in person. Always in person.
Why is that?
It's just a lot more engaging, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people who have a computer at home. I go to do my online work and I go do something else. I watch YouTube or watch a movie or something on my computer. So
it's just so easy to do different stuff on your computer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, me personally, I would say in person, I would consider myself a pretty extroverted person, and I just like meeting new people and hearing about people's experiences. I feel like you don't get that if you're online.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Wait a second, Spencer. You've been only talking to people on campus. You're only going to get people that like to live or that like to go to classes on campus. And you know what? You're right. But I also can't get interviews from people when they're always at home. So why don't you leave a comment down there and tell me what you think of online versus in-person classes. That's it for What's Bruin. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Spencer. So what do you think? Do you do better in online or in-person classes? Tell us in the comments below about your experience. For more What's Bruin, go to globeslcc.com or find us on facebook.com/SLCCSMC or on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at SLCCSMC. That's it for this episode of What's Bruin. Being a hottie is what's brewing in my cup. What's brewing in yours?